Welcome to Texas Front Porch. I'm your host, Tex. Y'all saddle up with me and my co-host. We're about to sink a spur and go on a ride that takes us down some rocky and windy trails. We're going to do our level best to cipher out everything we can about all sorts of critters, like Bigfoot, dogman, and pretty much anything that walks, creeps, crawls, or even takes to flight. The rabbit holes we're fixing to be poking our heads down is going to take a look-see into everything from abductions to xenophobes. We may not always agree, and that's all right. That, my friends, is how we learn. We will be conversating with a whole lot of interesting folks here on the old porch, and y'all are welcome to chime in. Just keep a civil tongue, and it will go as smooth as a fine whiskey. Y'all can find us over yonder on the Facebook, TikTok, Reddit, Rumble, or you can email us at paracryptidencounters@gmail.com, or if you're feeling real neighborly, shoot us a text, 972-559-0988. Enjoy the show, folks. I just want y'all to know, this whole thing is Paul's fault. So, because he did not send, when he scheduled the show, he said, hey, can y'all step in for me? He's like, more than happy to do so. And when he set this show up, he set it up over on the booze side and did not load his
intro
stuff.
His intro. So we have fully taken over, and and if you look up in the upper right hand corner, right above Brandi, we have a facsimile of Paul with us. So we have his effigy, and he is here.
Is he monetized?
So we have completely taken over, and it's his own damn fault.
I saw that. I saw the picture of all the girls, and there's Paul.
I was like sitting here, like, wait a second, this don't sound right. I look over, I was like, when did he put up the old one up there? Wait, why is Paul on the old intro? What the?
Oh my goodness! I just laughed. I mean,
and you should have seen me and Brandi in the backstage sitting there just laughing our what's up at everything that's going on. We're like, this is going off the rails quick. Sorry, Paul, you knew better.
Sorry, Paul. That's what happens when you.
Yeah. If anybody read the post on the front porch about the show, I stole a line from the Borg. I said,
we assimilated him.
Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated.
Never mind. I'm not even getting involved. Well, never mind.
But as you may have noticed, there has been some changes to the porch intro. Paul is officially part of the family, and so is Psychics Paranormal. So you're going to be seeing content from them on our channel here shortly, and me and Paul will be starting our Wednesday morning show, Waking Up Weird. Is it next week?
Next Wednesday, time y'all 7 a.m. or 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Same day y'all are starting your new. Y'all are starting your new show.
Yes. Okay. So Paul is going to be on with us. It's going to be Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, and it's Paranormal Show and Tell.
And I know that whole bunch, especially Donnie. Well, Randy too. Randy has the same issue. He will kiss and tell. So,
Well,
good luck.
yeah, you freaking put it out there. I'm gonna make sure they know about it. All right.
See, there's a little backstory, little inside joke, little inside rib to that Randy kissing and telling stuff. So,
I don't know what you're talking about. We did
oh
not
no, not
spoon
at
no
all.
matter. We did not spoon no matter what he says. Okay.
And see, that's not even what I'm talking about.
I know what
See,
you're talking
back in
about.
the
Right.
'80s, back in the
Shush.
'80s and late '80s. See, I've known Randy for a day or two,
Yeah.
and Randy knew me when I was dating my ex-wife.
Yeah. Which I didn't know. Remind everybody about that up front. I did not know. Okay.
But anyway, there's an inside joke there, and we're not going to go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. We in-laws. No, we're not. Never mind.
Yeah, right. We're Eskimo brothers.
That's it. Sounds good. We'll go with that. I ain't giving you no Eskimo kiss though.
Yeah.
So
anyway, yeah. What was this show supposed to be over?
Yeah, me.
Not your ex love life. I know this. Okay.
So, what do we want to talk about tonight?
I want to talk about how come she's got a Texas hat on, I've got a Texas hat on, and all you got's that funky looking cowboy hat.
Well,
And
I'll
she's
tell
even in
you,
Missouri. You know, I mean, come on.
I'm not even going to go there with Tex or with Brandy having a little Tex in her. So, it's
Y'all, this is Paul's show. This is Paul's show. This is Paul's show. Come on
We're
now.
officially off the rails.
He's never going to allow us to do this again.
Hey, I
Ever.
can't wait till he comes back and watches this.
we
He may be watching now.
originally me and Brandy were supposed to have our love child up here. Fisherofspam was supposed to be with us, and
Never mind.
God help us if you're our love child, Randy.
I'm just a ray of sunshine. I'm telling you.
You know, speaking of, now I'm just thinking about this, and just let me do this here. Just a second ago, when you were saying something right at the end, I don't know if anybody else heard it, but I heard something go, sound like a female. It said,
Me or him.
After Tex got done speaking, it was a female voice that said, And just to let everybody,
stuff, I'll download it and I'll take a listen.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's on our stuff, you know, but not knowing us, if you don't know us, I mean, most everybody here knows all of us, but we do have little quirks that happen every so often, and we have caught EVPs.
Yep.
And I mean, we've had male voices take over the show. Like they bust right in and start talking.
Kimber says she thought it was you.
It was not me.
Well, see, then I'm going to say it right now. There's one common denominator in all these EVPs, and she's up there in that corner right there. Other way. That one up there.
It's this one.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, but I just heard it again, and I was like, but see, I have my earphones in, so I can hear, everything coming in a lot more clear. And I'm like, and I couldn't tell if that was coming in through my mic or coming from one of you guys with my earphones.
Yeah. Well, and case in point with what we're talking about with that EVP, we've done this on lives before too. You know, people sitting there telling us what they hear. Like when we did Hill House a couple of years ago, he's in the scrying room and sitting there trying to antagonize. He's in the house by himself, and everybody else has gone outside. and I'm watching on my phone. I set up the live on my phone, and he's going live from in there, and people are telling us, "Hey, we hear this, we hear that." Well, our buddy Keith is over to the side listening to it on his phone, where I'm going through StreamYard. He's listening through YouTube. He's hearing what they're hearing, but I can't hear it on my side.
Which is
Yeah, there was two
strange.
girls. There was two girls' names that was said that night.
Yep, and
one of them, one of them was a known spirit out of that house, and the other one we didn't get told about it till the next morning
when she told us about it.
Yeah, that they hadn't released her to the public, that they had just came across a new spirit, or supposedly new spirit. I don't, like you said, like we said so many times, I'm not real sure that these are actually little kid spirits.
No, this one definitely sounded female. Definitely sounded, because it wasn't me. And, my daughter's not home and my mom's in her room, so I know it wasn't any of us. So I was just kind of concerned.
Earlier today when our meeting was going on, was your mom there with you in that room?
Yes.
Okay, then that was her. I heard just up to the side a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Like, dang, I heard it twice today now.
Right. No, but it was very strange when I heard that. But just to let everybody know, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification button, just so Paul will be happy about something we've done tonight.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, he may string all of us up for this one. I'm taking y'all down with
might. And hey, Brandi, do you have do you have those sound bites from those EVPs?
I've got. Ooh, man, I might turn on the because I just, like I said, I just redid this. I got a new off the shelf refurbished computer thing. If you're new to me, higher speed than what my other one was, but I've got tons more storage and tons more everything. So now but I have my external right here, and I bet it's sitting right on it. So I look, and I'll have to upload it, and we'll have to listen to it on there, I think.
Yeah, but the one we didn't get, and I can't even remember what show it was on, was that male voice that just popped right in, started talking right over text.
Yeah, that wasn't me. I didn't get that one. I never was able to get that one. Now that I think about it. Only
I don't even know what show that was.
Let's see here. I'm looking. I got my external up now. I know
I think the best one we had was the bye.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna go and up. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna go ahead and upload these real quick so we can actually hear them.
Yeah, okay. It was the best one. It was the best one, yet the scariest one. It really was.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, because everybody's like, I'm like, well, I'm hoping that was at somebody else's house. I hope that is not at my house. I don't need
we ever figure it out, did we?
No, we never figured that out. But if this is a female, this sounds like a female, we'll have to listen to it more closely. But
I got 4 of them, so
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't want to manifest that. You know what I mean? Let's just.
Well, I will tell you this. Paul records these shows, and he records us individually with that feature in StreamYard, so we can figure out. Yeah, we can figure out who it came from.
See, I hadn't done that yet. I was going to play around with it, but I hadn't done it yet. Now I know what he's doing. I might do that. So then we can do real logistically looking at it if we need to. Of course, I'll keep the main one, obviously, for the podcast, but
right.
storage so I could do it.
JoJo says her favorite was my ghost kitty. We kept getting cat sounds all through the broadcast, cat sounds. And I was in my office in my room, and the cat wasn't, I had my door shut. The cat wasn't even in the room.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, there's that.
I guess that's better than a ghost hoo-ha. So
I probably don't need to know this.
Yes. I don't think I want to know that.
No, we don't.
No.
Okay, I've got
No.
I've got both the EVPs that I have from the shows, and I've got the enhanced versions, the ones that I went in and enhanced the EVP itself. So
nice.
now this one is going to be I believe this one's the one. Let me pull up my Hulu thing to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. So yeah, this EVP should be the one I caught in August of August, yeah, something like that of last year, October last year. This is the one that came off the bottoms of the booze, and as they're saying bye, you can hear it, and I'm gonna play it. I got it up full blast, so everybody should be able to hear it.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Okay, so everybody heard that little thing at the end there before it started
Yeah,
kicking in?
you'll hear Krista. Krista will say bye-bye, and then you'll hear this itty-bitty voice go, bye-bye.
All right, so this is going to be it one more time, a couple of times through, so y'all can hear it.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
All right, now I actually enhanced that EVP. I don't think I got all of Krista in it, but I think I got mainly just the EVP portion. That's with it enhanced, just the EVP. It's quite obviously somebody. You don't hear it?
I hear it perfectly fine.
Yeah, probably people with headphones are hearing it. I'm not.
Yeah, I'd have to see what your speakers are, but yeah, that's
There it
don't hear
is.
that at all. You hear it?
That I
And
hear.
that's just the bye-bye
Yeah.
from the little girl. I'm gonna say it's a little girl. That's all I can equate it to. So,
And clearly, that does not sound like me. That doesn't sound like Krista. And we had Heather Mosier on, and that clearly wasn't her either.
that was an under the breath little girl, something like. Here's the original again. Now listen to how faint it is, and I caught it purely by accident when I was editing this thing.
Bye bye.
You see how light that was?
Yeah, you can hear Krista. She sounds like she's right there in the microphone, and then you hear something like right off to the side.
Yeah, and it's so faint, it's just barely caught my. Because you said bye, she said bye bye, and as it skips her to go right, but if it hadn't have done it right before the start of the extra music,
Nobody would have ever heard it.
I probably
No.
wouldn't have caught it because I'd have thought it was just something kind of in the mix of everything. But it was far enough away from that, and right before it started, so it called attention to itself. So, I mean, and like I said, y'all, I told you straight up right then. I thought it came from your place because it really sounded like it came through your mic versus hers.
Well, JoJo was saying it sounds like, she needs help crossing over or whatever. First of all, that one was never here. I don't know where that came from. If it is in my home, it was never here.
Yeah.
That's something that was all brand new. And crossing over, I mean, I know that this ruffles feathers, but I don't believe we can cross anyone over, that we don't have that ability. I think that's God and in his abilities. We don't have that ability, but we can say, hey, it's okay. You can go if you see it. Hey, no problem. Blah, blah, blah. We can talk to them about it, but we can't cross them over. So that kind of, we can encourage. We can encourage. And that's my feelings about that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, especially when it comes to kids, I don't think they need anything like that. Only thing, if there's a child spirit that we know is a child spirit, or we figure out as a child spirit that's in the area or whatever, it's there because it doesn't even realize it's deceased.
Well, and that's a problem with me because I know there was never a little girl spirit here. I know. I never heard one. Nothing ever. Nothing. And I've been here for 12 years and never a child.
Just you too. So, but it did not sound like it came from hers. Now, it could have conceivably come through on the actual the recording through what you call it?
Well, they could have used StreamYard or our our electronics to do it. But
Yeah.
where are they coming through from? Where are they using it from? That's what I want to know, because clearly they have to use somebody in close proximity.
And I guess it could have came from Krista's area, but it just didn't sound like the same resonance, you know what I mean, of her mic.
Krista swears up and down it's not her. Heather swears up and down that it wasn't her.
Well, that wasn't. I'm just saying which mic it came from. I mean, because
Well,
it didn't sound like, it didn't
it
sound like
has to be mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it
something
has
might
to
have
be
been passing
mine.
through, too. You could have had something passing through too at that point.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That's possible, because as many places as I go, I say it a lot, but I don't say they're attachments. I call them hitchhikers. They just hitch a ride with you in a car, and then they go to the next place, and they're like, well, hey, this looks cool, or I may stay here, I may not. It's like I call them transient spirits, that they are not glued to any specific location. They just hop around, and they just travel. And we know, Tex
Yep.
especially knows, that I do have one that travels with me.
Yep, hangs out on the back of your car.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just tell the story. Well, I ended up going down to Brown Springs. Actually, it was my first trip going down to Brown Springs. Every time I go on trips, I always make sure I wash my car, my windshield is clean, I do all the safety stuff, And plus, I hate rubbing up against a dirty car. I just hate it. So I had gotten there that day, and I looked at my car, and I was getting back in my car, and there was a little child size handprint on the back of my car. No kidding. It was, and I'm like, how could that be? Because I washed it on my way to Texas. So how did I get that from washing my car on my way? Like, I drove about an hour, I stopped, I washed my car, got back in, and then I started to drive again. I never stopped anywhere else except for gas, where there was no children around me. And
Yeah.
then 7 months later, no kidding, 7 months later, same handprint, same place, small in size, and it showed up in Texas again, but I never had it in Missouri, and I've washed my car several times since in 7 months.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I don't travel anywhere with a dirty car. So I've washed it and washed it and washed it, and then it appears right after that.
And that was ironically, that started happening. That started happening after you went to the Hill House.
Yes, it was. Yeah, because I'd gone to the Hill House. Yeah,
because that's where you
I
were
went to the
coming
Hill.
from. You were coming from the Hill House, and you came to Brown Springs.
Yep. And there had been no handprints on my car, because when I came into Texas, I was parked at a house, which is the Hill House, which we know there are no children around that area, that house. There's no children. Let's just say it. There's no children.
No.
There's things that I think pretend to be children, but
right. I don't think they are children, but that's where, evidently, because I left the Hill House and then went that way to Brown Springs, and that's where it appeared, from the Hill House to Brown Springs.
Oof.
Yeah, it's creepy.
I really hope you didn't get a rider from a hitchhiker from Hill House. That's for dang sure. That would have happened because you went to the bar first with me before you went to Brown Springs. So I don't remember you having anything there. So I'm thinking along the lines of Brown Springs for sure.
There was no children at the bar.
Yeah. Now where did it show up the second time?
The second time it showed up at the Dogman conference that Josh Turner put on. It showed up there, and it was 2 days into the trip. It was 2 days into the trip that I was like, oh my God, there's that handprint.
Oopsie.
And Donnie Cho was with me, and I made him go back out there and look at it and go, we need to take a picture of this because this ain't right. This is something strange. Because even because we were down, where was it? Down by Austin, Texas. So we were way past, the Hill House, all of that. We were way south of that. And it appeared again.
The hell were you doing down in Austin?
That conference.
Dogman conference.
That was in Fort
Down
Worth.
past Austin. Oh, that was in Fort Worth. Yeah, it was.
No.
I remember. I'm getting confused. It was the Clean Brothers. Remember we went to the Clean Brothers?
Yeah, in San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio. There we go. Well, close to San Antonio. It was somewhere in between there. Yeah, I get them confused. So no, it was Fort Worth. You're right. Yeah, and it was 2 days in, and I've been in and out of that car several times, taking all of our equipment and our setup out of there, and just for the conference. I still don't know where that handprint would come back into play, the same place, 7 months later.
Yeah, that's doesn't make any sense. And that's what we talked about. It doesn't make any sense to be the same sized handprint at almost the identical same place on your car.
Right. Because I made sure that when I got, I made sure that I used stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like you said earlier, 7 months, and you wash your car pretty much on a regular basis. I don't see, hand oil lasting that long.
No. Not in the least.
I just don't.
Not even through weather. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not even through weather. I don't see it lasting that long. And the thing is the next time that I washed my car, I used Dawn dish soap on purpose to make sure that I got all that stuff off, because there was, it was kind of really dirty. So I used Dawn dish soap to clean it that second time. And it wasn't there. It wasn't there, and just showed up. And I think we were coming out of the conference the second day.
Mm-hmm.
When I said, hey, look at this.
Yeah, because we were all going somewhere. I think we were all heading back to the hotel or going out to eat or something. We noticed it.
Yeah. Well, Scott M., we are talking about the EVPs that we catch on the show, and we do on Blondes and Booze catch them quite a bit. They just pop in. We had a man's voice pop in. We've had I think I just heard about 9 minutes 13 seconds. I think that's when I looked. I thought I heard a female voice coming through. But we were also talking about a child's handprint that appeared on my car and then appeared 7 months later on my car, almost in the identical same spot. So we were just discussing that and how weird that is to be there, because I
no kids nowhere.
I don't want it to be a child, because my idea on it being a child is it's not a child.
Yeah.
Probably not. I wouldn't think so anyway, honestly.
Exactly. I mean, we can always go back to the story of the Sally house, is that this demonic thing was appearing as a child, and Deb Pickman played into that and was gifting it and buying it stuff and all kinds of things, and come to find out it wasn't a child at all.
Wait, you talking about the Sally house up in Atchison?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd heard about that. I'd kind of filed that one behind me, because the guy that lived there, remember, he used to get scratched.
Yes.
The entity did
that's
not
Tony
like
Pickman.
him at all.
No.
Okay. It did not like him. But
no, because he saw it for what it was.
Yeah. but when they had left, everything ceased. Once they had moved out, and there was a ghost hunting team, and I don't remember the names of them. One was a larger white lady with blonde hair, and she tried to dress like Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, 3/4 of the time. And her husband was a pretty good sized man of his own right, and he always literally carried around a EMF detector everywhere he walked, everywhere.
Mhm.
And they knocked on the door trying to talk to the people that lived there. They let him in the front door. She's like, "She's here. She's here." The lady's like, "I have not had one thing happen since I moved into this house. You guys need to leave." And they didn't want to leave. They were trying to force their way into the house. And she's finally like, "No, we don't need any help. See you. Bye." And that's the last I'd heard about it. And I just kind of, threw it behind me. Didn't think anything about it.
Mm. Well, there's a lot that had happened with that. I mean, I don't necessarily think that it. I don't necessarily think that it left.
Yeah,
I mean, I won't go by the house. I won't drive by the house. I don't even want to go on the same street.
really. That kind of a
No.
bad feeling.
Yeah. It's just a nasty vibe, and I don't want to deal with it. Now, the McIntyre Villa is I'm pretty close to it too, but I'll go there any day of the week. But that Sally house, I won't touch it. I won't touch it. And they've done a lot of investigations with it, like Steve Shippey. He's out of Michigan, and he was on I think it was the Travel Channel or Discovery Channel, something like that. But anyway, he had his own show, and he does documentaries and things all over the place, and
Yeah.
he went there too. And he said it's not a very good place.
And that wouldn't surprise me in the least, because I don't know what happened with the lady that moved in after them. Like I said, with that crew, that woman, and the cameras and stuff coming in, and obviously almost trying to invade her house. Literally, she opened the door to be nice to them and let them in and talk to them a little bit about it, and they literally were trying to push their way in. It seemed like, but this
Yeah,
was
and
once again caught on as part of a most haunted places of America, or haunted Atchison, or whatever heck it was on Travel
yeah,
Channel or wherever. So some
right.
of it may be staged. I can't tell you for sure, but the woman did not look pleased at all that they were in there.
Well, the thing is that I don't even know why they'd be trying to talk to her just to see if something had happened since she's lived there. But there's
And they leave
nobody
her
living in
alone.
it now, and has it for a long time, for a
Oh,
long,
really?
long time. Yeah,
Okay.
because the Pickmans were on Good Morning America and all kinds of shows
Yeah.
because of what had happened. And like I said, there's nobody been living in that thing for a long, long,
Well,
long time.
and they were documented. He was literally doing an interview when one scratch came up on him. I mean, literally, it was,
Hmm.
quite frankly, it was documented. But somebody was like, "Oh, he had it before he sat down." Blah blah blah. Blah. Yeah, no, because I mean, you saw the blood whelps starting to come up in the middle of it. That doesn't happen just while you're sitting there with nobody watching you. Something has to scratch you to give you
Right.
the blood along the claw mark. So, and that's why I'm with you
Yeah.
though. When I saw that, I said, "That's not a child. It can't be a child because a
Hmm.
child wouldn't do that." I don't believe
Hmm.
anyway. Not to
Well,
that level.
well, what do you think about now? Because Paul, he had gone to Ashmore Estates
Hmm.
last month, and he got scratched.
Yeah.
Do you think
Uh,
that?
well, and it's tough to say. I would usually scratches like that to me indicate malevolent spirit at a minimum. But yeah, it's usually, to me, it seems like there's something almost I hate to say demonic about it, because it may not be demonic. It may just be, hey, I don't like this guy, and I'm going to torment him the entire time he's here, type thing. You get a bad spirit, a malevolent spirit like that, it can happen real easy, I would think. But as a
Well,
child, I would not say a child spirit would do that.
we keep trying to get Tex attacked, but it just doesn't happen.
Hell, we even put him in
We're like, you,
a scrying room, and
yeah,
it
it's like,
didn't
you
do.
want to scratch somebody? Yeah, you want to scratch somebody? There's Tex. Go get him
Oh no, they
right
went to
there.
his buddy that's right next to him. That's what happened. Poor Bobby. Bobby was not happy with that one.
No, he was not.
Yeah. And that was one,
Right.
I was in the kitchen, he walked in, man, something's burning my back. I'm like looking, and I'm like, dude, what the? And it was in the mark of an A. It looked like, and I mean, it is good little
Oh,
scratch.
I'm sorry. It wasn't Ashmore Estates. Carmen was just telling me it was at the Ray County
The Ray
Museum.
County.
Okay, Ray County. There we go. That's where it was at. Ray County Museum, which we're going, back to here.
Sooner or later.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm going back. I think I'm not sure. Next week or the week after.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
not
like I
sure.
said, with Bobby's and stuff, that was again enough to freak him out because he wasn't there as a believer, non-believer, or whatever. And I still firmly believe that one wasn't the entity that they call a demon in the house. I firmly believe that was the card player, Willie.
Who do you
Very
think
good.
it was, Tex?
I it certainly seen that way, especially with the EVP we caught at about the same time.
Yeah, because you were sitting in Willie, or no, were you? Yeah, you were sitting in Willie's chair. Or was Willie? Did y'all leave Willie's open?
No, I moved him over.
Okay. Well, Bobby walked behind it while they were playing. And
yeah, he was standing behind him.
Yeah, and they caught clearly an EVP cheater.
Yep.
And he shortly after that, he started getting that scratch feel.
I don't know if people know what we're talking about, so let's kind of like fill them in on what we're talking about. The haunted Hill House is located in Mineral Wells, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They
hour
actually,
and a half west of Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So it's really, for me, it's not a bad drive. It's not too bad. But they actually buy haunted artifacts. Now, whether they're haunted or not, who knows? But something in that house is haunted, for sure. A couple of somethings.
So, getting back to...
I've got a picture of that, too, if you want to see it, too. I've got the picture on here.
There it is. That's my hand. And I tried to spread my fingers out like the handprint, but that's it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see it's definitely smaller than mine.
And it looks human. It does look human.
Yeah. Now that's on the door hatch on the back, and that's very low on the door hatch. I'm just saying. That's low. Right. So that would, the only way that I could think of that you would get that, because for number one, it's left-handed on the right-hand side. So you'd have to cross your arm over your body to close it. You know what I mean? Which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to cross your left over to the right and then close something. You take your right hand and put it down on the right side, right?
Right.
So this didn't make any sense to me. And like I said, no. Why is it so low?
Yeah, and as flat as it is, you would think it would be, kind of level with itself. And the way you can see it, it's like pushing out from your chest almost, So you would think whatever made that impression or made that print, it's flat and it's level, so it's not much taller than what that print is.
Right, and like I said, it's low. That's just, what would you say, 3 feet up off the ground?
Maybe.
Not even that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I thought about, okay, maybe it was my daughter. First of all, my daughter would never have been able to close that hatch with her left hand crossing her body, and her only being 5 foot nothing couldn't have even reached it to put it down. Right. So I know it wasn't her because, again, when I left here and was on my way down there, I washed my car. So even if she had touched it before then, I washed everything before I even went that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and T-Bone says, could you see spirals on the print?
It just looked
I
like the
don't.
dust was lifted.
There wasn't any dermal ridges that I remember.
Mm-mm. No, none. And like I said, it just looked like the dust had been lifted because I know my car got dirty going down there. I mean, because it's just dusty all the way down there. It's a fact of life. But
Yeah,
but it looked like it had just been put there, like brand spanking new handprint.
yeah. Now I went ahead and uploaded some pictures from the Hill House.
Okay. Have you got the one at Bob?
Yep.
I got it up too. Okay. If you got it, we'll roll with it.
Yeah. Now this place is currently open for investigations. You can make reservations. You can sleep in this house all night long. But I'm telling you this place here is the one that I've been to that I can honestly say that it will test every part of you, mentally, physically, everything about it, if it decides to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. It's got to decide to do so. That's the card room.
Yeah, this is where we were playing cards,
Mm-hmm.
and what happened before Bob got scratched was interesting too.
Oh yeah, the hand.
Me and Keith and Tommy
Yep.
Keith and Tommy were playing cards first with Willie, with the supposed gambler ghost, and I came in and I moved Willie over to another chair and I sat down in his spot. And they had been asking to see the dead man's hand, which is aces and eights. The following hand, I get dealt aces and eights, and Willie beats me with 3 6s.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
And
the odds of that happening at that exact same time is astronomical.
Oh yeah. I mean, and you came back in there later when I was playing with them, and we put that K2 meter in there. We just put the K2 meter in it, and we just kept asking Willie if he wanted to stand, if he wanted to stay,
Right.
do you want to keep going, or did he want to fold, all that kind of jazz. We kept playing, and every time we say, "Hey, Willie, you want to call?" The light would flash. When the light would flash, we'd call him,
and
if
he'd
it didn't
win.
flash, and he won every single time.
Yeah.
When it didn't flash, we folded him, and he would have lost.
Yeah.
Every single time. So that's almost as close to an interaction that I've ever had with an actual spirit, as far as an actual interaction.
That is the scrying room.
Yep. That was right about the time they put the chair in front of it to hold you in there.
Yeah.
Way to go, Rocky and Ron. Yeah.
So, and on the back side of that is it's under the stairs. So it's very tight. And there's about a 4-foot mirror that sits on one side of you.
Yeah.
Now, there has been a lot of people, go back to that staircase, if you would, please. Yeah. There has been a lot of people, and you can watch this, because they have a Facebook site that they will put, because they record everything. They will put stuff on there, and you will see so many people running and tripping down these stairs. Recently, they just had someone go over the complete banister.
Mm-hmm. And a while back, somebody almost took it out.
Right.
So.
Right. So those stairs are. They don't look bad, but when you're running, yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're steep. They're relatively steep. Because you got to remember when the house was built. Most of them were steep to start with back then.
Right.
This is
Right.
the Hill House, folks. Paul was not there on this investigation. This
No.
was 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago, back in May.
That had to be 3 years ago now because I was there 2 years ago.
Were you there 2 years ago? Okay, then it was 3 years ago for us because we were there a
3
year
years
before
ago.
her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the
that.
scrying room.
Yeah, that's right before they locked me inside and everybody left for 30 minutes outside the house.
Yep. And me and Keith were watching on the through your live feed, I should say.
Right.
Through it, and I had my EV or my my what you call it the little camera, those little Arlos, one of those little Arlos
Yeah.
I set up in there with you. I had
Yep.
that one in there, and then I think I had my my little recorder too, my voice recorder.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the place covered. If something was going to happen, we were going to catch it.
Right.
Yeah, you're right, JoJo. Tex was taking a nap in there.
Yeah. That's the outside of it.
Yep.
And
there we go.
there.
That's the scratch we were talking about. And honestly, I mean, you kind of see the A in the middle. I just think it's just,
Yeah.
it was just a rage scratching that was going on. Not necessarily trying to make an A. I think Willie was just pissed off because he was cheating by getting behind him while he was playing his cards, looking at his cards.
Right. Carmen Burns, it's in Mineral Wells, Texas. And
Yeah.
JoJo, is at a symbol. Some people see an A, some people see possibly trying to do, possibly a pentagram. I mean, there's been a lot of speculation as to what it is. And like Randy's saying, I think it's just random scratches.
Yeah. And the more I look at it, the more I realize what would want to make an A on the back anyway. It's just literally he got up and he just did one of these things is what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
Well, that's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, because look at the top where it curls around too.
Yeah.
So, and we checked we checked the footage, where he was at. He was never in an area or up against a wall where he was kind of like scratching his back or anything like
Right.
that. He was never doing anything like that. So we did verify that nothing touched his back from the time he left that room till the time he got to the kitchen with me when he was telling me about this is burning, and we found that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it stayed on him for about 30, 45 minutes.
Minimum.
Something like that. And of course, we put ice on it and, that type of thing. And,
yeah, because it was hurting him. It really was hurting him. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Carmen, this would be a good place for you and Lauren to go. This is more of your upper intermediate to experienced investigator. I do not recommend this house to anybody who is not experienced at all.
I think the creepiest thing, one of the creepiest things about this place is, I don't remember what year it was, but they had two young ladies that had just graduated high school, and they went to investigate there, and they spent the night, and then the next day they disappeared, and they haven't been seen since. Years after that had taken place, there was a group there, and they were investigating, and one of the guys had gotten spooked, and he went outside, said he wasn't going to go back in, to the point to where he wouldn't even go in and use the bathroom. So he walked out in the woods to take a leak, and he found one of the girls' cell phones there in the woods behind the house several years after they had disappeared. So and then they've actually dug up human bones on the property. There's three spring wells that are on the property underneath the house. The actual mineral springs that Mineral Wells is named after is underneath this house.
Yep.
And this house has been a brothel,
Speakeasy.
I mean, there's places where they actually built spots to hide both people and liquor back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got quite a history, and there's been several people killed in the house. Several people died in the house. I think calling it a hotel, Kimber, is a stretch.
Yeah, I think it's a stretch. I think it was like a home, but I don't think it was ever a hotel.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it just sells her like a B&B almost.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
or
it was
a halfway
brothel.
house.
It was a
Could
brothel.
have been
I
a
know.
halfway house.
Oh, I was talking about
I
just
don't
what it
know.
is right now.
We need to get them to come on the show. You know, we need to get them to come on over to the porch one
I'll
time.
tell you right now, they would probably do it depending on what they got going on there. I've talked to them a couple of times. I'll have to get with Catherine and Sonny again, but talked to them a couple of times about it. But every time they get started, they end up doing something else or having some bigwigs come in. There's an actual, what was it, Portals of Hell that Jack Osborne did. They did a show there,
Right.
and it was pretty good. It shook them. That's how good it was. It
Mhm.
shook the girl that
Oh
was with it
yeah.
had to leave the house. So I mean,
I didn't leave the house. I mean, I walked outside and caught my breath and went back in. But yeah.
yeah,
But we've talked about this before about, you and Tex having a different type of experience
yeah,
than what we did as a group because we were all female.
yeah.
Right.
And I'm telling you what, we were stressed to the max. One of the ladies out of our group of 4 cut it. She's like, I'm done. And that's about 2:30. She said she's done. She's going to go stay outside in her car. But the rest of us stayed. You know what I mean? And it was like, she said she was done. We're like, well, we're not done. We're going to figure this out. Da, 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 da. We're going to, we stuck it out and went to sleep in the living room, had a great time. But
Did you figure it out?
No. Mm-mm.
I don't want to know that one. If you figured it out, I want to know.
No, we didn't. We sure didn't. Blondes and Booze did a live that night that we went. If anybody wants to go back into our archive on Blondes and Booze, we did do a live that night, but we were so late trying to get to the show because our hour and 45-minute tour turned into 4 hours because we had to keep stopping because things were just falling off the walls or banging, or you would hear somebody yelling, and it was just like it just was nonstop, and it continued like that through the night. We finally got some peace about 4:30 maybe, that we slept for a couple hours, and that was it.
Well, that's kind of what we did. I mean, we ended up, but we were trying for something to happen, and nothing really like that ever happened. We could hear voices every so often. We had some motion detectors and motion things going off upstairs, but we turned off the I don't want to call it ghost box, but that radio that's upstairs, they've got set up as a ghost
We turned
box.
it off too. Yeah, we turned it off.
It was more in the way, and it was kind of leaning us places we really didn't want to go with. But there's that hobby horse chair, rocking horse that's in there. I shouldn't say rock, but the spring one.
Right.
When he walked in there, you remember the doll that was in there beside it. The doll's motion or vibration, seismic type. When he walked in there, and now, I'm not going to say it mean like, but Texas is a big boy, okay? But the first time he walked by it, nothing. Second time he walked by it, didn't it go off the second time?
Well, it wasn't when I was walking by it that it went off. It was when I was sitting in the bed that it went off.
Yeah, but he walked by it 2 or 3 times trying to make it go off, and it wouldn't go off. And this is a seismic. Now, when he stomped on it, we were downstairs going, "What the heck are you doing up there?" Type thing. So, and then he told us what was going on, and all that was caught on tape too. So,
well, okay, so let's move on with this, okay? Because I want to tell you about this whole weekend. Since we started off about my car, yeah. because
Oh.
then we got through with that house, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like that wasn't enough. And then we went to the next night. We went to the bar that Randy worked at because they were having, and nobody had ever investigated there. We did get some evidence from there that I think is spot on that they do have a haunting going on, not by just one spirit, but I think there's 2 or 3 that are very prominent there. But it was very mild, very easy. It's great. Okay, so then after that night, the very next day, that's when we headed off to Brown Springs. I took all the ladies to Brown Springs.
Yay.
And yeah, that's when we had Holly with us. And all the other ladies went back to the hotel. They said they didn't want no part of Bigfoot. They didn't want no part of what was happening. They're just like, no. So Holly stayed. And so Holly and I, and of course, Tex and our friend Nick were all out there. Well, lo and behold, we find stuff leading for witchcraft. We were hearing.
That was the first time you got to meet Pops too, wasn't it?
Yeah, in person. Yeah, that's the first time I met him. Then the witchcraft ritual things that were happening up there, the whole graveyard thing. My first Bigfoot sighting. I'm telling you, people, all of this happened to me within 4 days. I am not kidding.
Yep,
I am not kidding.
About 72 hours roughly. I mean, between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Boom.
I thought I was losing my mind. I wonder if all of that helped. I wonder if all of that helped because I was going through so much paranormal stuff that Bigfoot was just it. That's like, he's like, well, this lady's crazy. She's done seen it all. Let's just bring it on out and let us, we'll show her what's real.
Because that was the same weekend we caught that crazy thermal footage up there in the graveyard.
Same weekend. We caught a thermal image that was showing a heat signature that we could not see in the woods. And it was just floating around Tex. Just floating around. But we couldn't see it. It wasn't a bug. It didn't flutter around or show any characteristics of a bug. Of course, a bug's not going to show that big of a heat signature. This thing showed a heat signature.
Yeah.
And I mean a heat signature, and it was black. And on that specific thermal, black is hot, very, very hot. People humans will show black in that type of thermal. And this thing was showing that type of heat signature, but it was floating. And it wasn't a bat, it wasn't a bird. It was floating. It wasn't flying. It was floating. So I don't know what happened.
Right above the top of the grass, which was about a foot high.
Yeah.
Right.
It would sit there and it would stay still, and then it would move and it would undulate like we call it like the lava bubble in a lava lamp. And
yeah.
When I walked towards it, it moved away. When I walked back, it moved back with me. I mean, it was just insane.
That's for it to be picking up on a thermal like that and to move inconsistency with you. I'm leaning toward farts.
It wasn't a puff of smoke, okay?
Oh,
it didn't dissipate.
Well.
It did not dissipate.
You don't know how much gas he's got in him. But no, honestly, to see something that hot, essentially following you around, and then when you go to move toward it, it backs away. Intelligently, it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's obviously. Now I'm going to say straight out, I don't believe that's any way, shape, or form Bigfoot. But yeah, you got a spirit thing going on right there. Could be a real interesting thing. So now I'm gonna have to break out thermals more often up there. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and you should, because we didn't think about it either until Nick had his. But then Okay, so to top off my whole entire weekend, we got bluff charged.
Yeah.
The famous story of the bluff
This is
charge.
funny though. It's a funny thing though. But
Yeah.
Keystone Cops, here
Oh,
we go. Let's roll. Come on, keep going.
I know. But I mean, so this whole thing started, like I said, I arrived in Mineral Well Springs,
In Mineral Well
and that's where it
Springs.
all began. Or
Mineral
in
Well.
Mineral Wells, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, because it's Mineral Springs, Illinois up here. So there's the, yeah, I'm trying to put them all together. I'm tired. You gotta understand. But, but let me tell you something real quick though. There is a Mineral Springs up in Illinois, and they have this place up there that I do think one of the bad things resides at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Because because when I went up there, they had a overnight ghost hunt, which a friend of ours were putting that on. So they said, "Hey, just come on." So we went up there, and Chris and I were hanging out. The next thing you know, Chris and I are hearing these growls coming out of this corner down the basement.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen just once; it was several times. And
Wow.
it got to the point where I wasn't turning my back on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, no, no, nope. So there, you know, I don't know. Mineral Wells, Mineral Springs. What is what's the other place, that other haunted hotel that's very famous? Isn't that Mineral Springs too?
Mineral Wells. It's the Baker Hotel.
No, it's another place. It's out west. I think it's called the Mineral Springs Hotel too. It's very famous. It's built on springs. Well, I wouldn't call them springs. I'd call them underwater
It's
cavities.
called the Baker, and it's in Mineral Wells, right across the street from the Hill House.
Yeah. Hitting the crazy water.
Yeah.
No, I thought this one was out west. It's not Mineral. Let me see. It's not in Texas.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, then
Like I said, it's out west. It's out west.
Well,
very famous.
Mineral Wells. So.
I'm talking about like California way, going that west.
Oh, I ain't going that far.
Guys, get out of Texas. Get out of Texas.
No, I refuse.
Oh, but it's super famous. Is anybody out there? No, it's not in Texas.
Yeah, but we know about the Minger there. Minger is a good place to go too.
Yeah, it is good. Even though I didn't experience anything at the Minger Hotel, it is beautiful to look at anyway. Yeah. It is a beautiful hotel. Hold on, I'm trying to get my Google working. Not that it will.
Now she's gonna play with that, and she's gonna drop off because she just took up all her signal.
Yeah, kill the bandwidth.
I'm gonna kill it. Everything. No.
Okay, so you see a haunted hotel out in where in California?
No, it's just out west. No, it's called Mineral Springs. Hold on. I haven't heard about it in a long time because they did have it open for investigations, and then somebody had bought it, and then they kind of closed it down.
Okay, here we go. We're looking at Mineral Springs. Well, there's a Mineral Springs, Texas. It's a ghost town in the Piney Woods, but that's East Texas. That's not West Texas or out west.
Get out of Texas.
I'm just saying,
that does kind of spooky.
Yeah,
that does kind of sound.
It's a ghost town in Pinole County, Texas.
How far away is that
Texas?
From Jefferson? Let's see. I'm looking right now. Actually, Pinole County. It's on the border, dang near. It's around Carthage.
Yeah, you guys are all in Texas. It's not in Texas. I'll have to look it up.
I'm trying to look away from the Texas as well. I'm trying to look because there's a Mineral Springs in Arkansas.
Well, yeah. Well, also the Mineral Springs in Alton, Illinois that I was talking about, Ghost Adventures had been there, Dude Bro. They'd actually been at this thing, and of course they'll always, Dude Bros. Yeah, I call them Dude and Bro. Dude. Anyway, they've been at that Mineral Springs too, so it's not that. It's a different one.
Alton, Illinois.
Yeah, Alton, Illinois is that one. There's another one. I will find it. I will promise. I will find it.
Everything I'm looking for has literally got nothing but Texas and
Is it
Arkansas.
the Mineral Hotel? I mean, you can go into Mineral Springs, all that Alton. It's not a hotel anymore. What it is it's a bunch of I want to say new age shops with
Yeah,
crystals they have like a hippie side to it where they sell, stuff.
hotel and banquet center or whatever they call it now.
I, I wouldn't even call it a banquet center. It's not that
Oh,
big, but
okay.
it is tall. But it is tall because you start
Yeah.
off at the top and you've got rooms up top, and then they do have a pool located. I mean, it's drained, but there is a pool located in it that supposedly a boy had passed away or drowned in the pool, and they say
Mhm.
that it's haunted. Um, I believe it is so. I watched, we did a whole bunch of different experiments in this pool, and I had
Yeah.
equipment going off like crazy.
Mm.
So, and I had the equipment set away from people all the way to the back. We had a lot of shadow play. Equipment was going off as people were asking questions, and it was just crazy. And they were doing their own thing, asking questions, and my equipment was receiving the answers.
That was that EVP
Gotcha.
we were looking at on our show that time, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. This was with K2s and REM pods and
Okay. You'll say about that
motion
one
lights. Yeah.
people that you thought was somebody else. Yeah, I thought y'all were in trouble.
Carmen Burns says that place is haunted. We had great results in the bathroom
Mm-hmm.
where they say it's a portal.
I have no idea.
So
There is something.
do you activate it by flushing the toilet? I mean, I don't know.
I was just getting ready to say, I mean, did it have the old-timey pull string
Yeah,
to
right.
flush the toilet?
It's the
Or
only portal
is
I've
it
got
the
in my house.
modern flush? Is it that modern flush?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Byron Hot
I'll
Springs
look up that
Hotel.
one. Mm-mm. I will look it up another time. I know what it is. It's just it lost its steam because some people had bought it, and they won't let anybody in it now. So it kind of lost its momentum as
Yeah,
the most haunted places,
yeah.
Uh, but which I hate that because I'm like, how are these people sustaining the preservation of these properties without
Without doing something with them.
without the
Yeah,
income? Yeah, without the income, and a lot of them are just falling into the ground.
well, yeah.
Uh,
And that's why I praise Sonny and Catherine for over there at Hill House. Yeah, they charge you to go in and do your investigation, but that money goes to pay for the taxes, which has gotten stupid over the last several years, and the upkeep of the place. I mean, because you talk about 100-year-old or more house that it takes a lot of upkeep to keep that thing standing. So,
Well, guys, y'all about ready to wrap it up?
yeah, we're about ready to wrap it up. Oh yeah, no, Kimber, it's not the Byron. Uh, it's not the Park. It's not the Crescent. It's none of those. I know it's not. It's out west somewhere, and I'll have to really find it because it's the Mineral Hotel. It's Mineral something, and I just can't remember the name. And I'm trying to think of why all these spooky houses have minerals somewhere. Either in the town name, the hotel
Well,
name. I
once
don't care.
again,
It's mineral something.
residual energy.
Maybe
We talked about it before with minerals and certain types of rock.
yep.
possibly limestone and water seems to be,
Mm.
one of those things. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. It was fun.
Oh, he's yawning now. He's got to go to work, everyone.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna, yeah, right? We're gonna, me and Randy and Donnie and Danielle, if she's up to it, she's still fighting her back. She had her last injection. It jacked her up. She's been down for several days, but we're going to talk about the murder of Bruiser Brody tomorrow on Infamous Minds.
All right. And then we have Truth or Tinfoil at 5 p.m. Central tomorrow. But don't forget tonight at 11 p.m. Central, brunch, or not brunch, I'm thinking of brunch. Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Check out his channel 11 p.m. Central. We'll all be there. Well, not Tex, but we'll be there having another conversation about who knows what.
What's this week,
know.
Kimosabi?
She got a mouse in
I
her
don't
pocket.
know.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna make fun of him for not ever seeing dadgum Beetlejuice. You can bet on that.
I can't believe that.
That's right.
Oh,
I know.
guys, we'll see y'all
Anyway.
later. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Keep it spooky.